The Big 12 coaching hot seat is alive. We are 2 weeks into the college football season, and you might think, can you really learn a lot in 2 weeks? The answer is yes. Now, could some of the coaches, like yours, maybe your coach is one that's on the chopping block, could they turn it around a la Neal Brown last season? Yes. I remember when Neal Brown lost to Penn State the way he did last year, and I thought, that was oddly competitive. Did the players like playing for Neal Brown? Could they actually be a competent football team? And West Virginia was. That could be the case this year for a Joey McGuire. However, I believe the league's in a spot right now where about 8 of these coaches are in very safe territory, and another 8 need some help. These guys could all go 3-9 this season, and I am confident, I can assuredly say, they won't get fired. That would be Kyle Whittingham, Lance Leipold, Chris Kleiman, Willie Fritz at Houston. Those 4 guys, they go 3-9, you're okay. Mike Gundy, Matt Campbell, you go 3-9. Brent Brennan at Arizona, first-year head coaches get a free pass to go 3-9, and I think Gus Malzahn too. Those 8 guys are completely safe. A 3-9 season happens in Orlando. Everyone looks around and says, that's not good. But can we fire Gus? Not yet. 3-9 happens somehow, it would be crazy at this point, in Ames, Iowa. Can we fire Matt Campbell? Of course not. Those 2 first-year head coaches? Of course not. Mike Gundy has a lifetime contract. Same thing for Kyle Whittingham. Lance Leipold has done immensely good things at Kansas. Chris Kleiman has a Big 12 championship and a very competitive Kansas State team. 3-9 this year is not going to tank him. The fact that half this league is secure, you can't necessarily say that in the SEC. There aren't as many in the SEC lifetime guys, Big Ten lifetime guys. You're seeing those coaches who are, bouncing around, have a couple bad years, boom, you get fired, or boom, you move to the NFL, and now that school is looking for their new guy. Or, oh, wow, this guy is so squarely on the hot seat and has been there like a Beamer or a Pittman for years. That's not where the Big 12 is. We've got half the conference in a spot where you could royally suck this year and still be okay. Then it gets a little tricky in the middle area. And I can't wait to talk about the guys who I do think have a chance of being fired at the end of the year. The middle area, if you go 3-9 this season, I don't know if you're exactly fired. Kenny Dillingham. I don't know if you're fired, but if the conversation's going, we're going to sit down in a war room and say, is Kenny Dillingham the answer? Because, wow, what a hot start to the season beating Mississippi State, and then we finished 3-9. Sonny Dykes, a couple years removed from a college football playoff appearance. If this isn't a good year from TCU, if you finish 3-9, if you finish 4-8, Sonny Dykes at the end of this season could very well be fired. What else? Like, in the same way Dave Aranda, you saw Dave Aranda win, and now the team sucks. If TCU sucks again this year, we all look around and go, he won with another guy's players and a couple of good transfers, developed a quarterback, but now his offensive coordinator's last name is Briles. Feels like half of his coaching staff was at Baylor during the Briles era, already controversial, and we aren't good at football. If that's the case in Fort Worth, Sonny Dykes is in trouble. For BYU, Kalani Sitake, you finish 3-9, there's a split. I know so many people on the program who like Kalani Sitake, who he is as a person, what he represents, and how he is for the university. He's a great figurehead. He's a good coach, too. But he's hitched his wagon to Aaron Roderick. He's hitched his wagon to an offensive coordinator who wasn't good last year. And this year, last week at least, you're like what is this? We've seen Jake Retzloff be good. Why is the play calling what it is? Why is Aaron Roderick still calling the offense for BYU? It was as if Kalani Sitake postgame was mad, frustrated with why is this guy still the one that I have calling plays? The Jeff Grimes era was spectacular. Jeff Grimes killed it at BYU. Then A-Rod steps up. You become the big guy. And that's what you're going to give me? Now, I know. I've heard the rumors. Oh, Jeff Grimes wasn't calling plays at the end of the year. Zach Wilson was your quarterback. You were a top 15 team, and he was a Heisman contender. I don't give a rip. What I'm seeing is, Jeff Grimes didn't call plays. Okay. Well, you think A-Rod's the big mastermind behind Zach Wilson and just lost a touch? I don't think so. If you're BYU and Kalani Sitake, you've got to do something about A-Rod. Texas Tech. It's so frustrating. Because Sonny Dykes, Dave Aranda, and Joey McGuire are all in this category of guys who walked in and did well early, did something in the first couple of years that was really good. A Sugar Bowl Big 12 championship for Aranda. And if you're looking at what Sonny Dykes did, obviously going to the college football playoff, winning a game is huge. McGuire's first season beating Texas, awesome, massive. And now, non-competitive. Like watching the Washington State game, it was like just an incompetent football team. An embarrassment to the Big 12. Everybody's been there in a year where their team sucks. And you go into a game and you think, we're not going to be close, are we? This is just not going to be a fun game to watch. And the fact that that's Texas Tech right now, after the momentum he built on the recruiting trail, again, yeah, sure, your class of 2025 shaping up great, huh? Those kids are 17. They're not winning you games right now. And the kids you brought in for the really good class of 2023, they're not winning you games right now. Not good. These guys finished 3-9 and they're fired. Dave Aranda, Scott Satterfield, buyout's crazy, but we got to do something about Scott Satterfield, please. And Neal Brown. If Neal Brown goes 3-9 this year, smell you, bud. And I know I'm judging him off of one effectively top 10 game, but it was at home and it was dismal. I just wanted West Virginia to win that game so badly. And then another guy who, if he finishes 3-9, I don't know if Colorado will have the cojones to fire him. I don't know if Colorado's administration will have the wherewithal, the ability, the humility to say, hey, yeah, it's time to move on. But Deion Sanders is in the category of 3-9, and he's got to go, man. He's got to go. Kyle Whittingham, you're safe. Lance Leipold, you're safe. Chris Kleiman, yeah, absolutely. Willie Fritz and Brent Brennan, because you're in your first seasons, you can pretty much do whatever you want. We're going to give you some time. Mike Gundy, lifetime contract. Whittingham's a lifetime contract. Gundy is too. Leipold's probably in that category. I'm not sure Kleiman's there quite yet. Matt Campbell definitely is. And then Gus Malzahn, I still think you're safe at 3-9. You don't get fired at 3-9. Kalani Sitake, Kenny Dillingham, Sonny Dykes, Joey McGuire, you're 3-9. Find it hard to justify keeping you around. Maybe, but hard to justify. Then Dave Aranda, Deion Sanders, Scott Satterfield, and Neal Brown. If you're 3-9, you are no longer coaching in the Big 12 next season. Don't go 3-9, please. Coming up, Deion Sanders is embarrassing. Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Look, I've been on the road all weekend long in Des Moines, Iowa, working a couple different jobs. How do I stay up to date with all things in the Big 12 as well as my day job? That's with 5 Hour Energy. Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot to stay alert watching all your favorite games. If you stayed up late to see the intense overtime game, take a 5 Hour Energy shot in the morning to start your day off right. Zero sugar, convenient, portable size, perfect pick-me-up for getting stuff done. Also, their website has flavors like watermelon and tropical burst, my favorite being berry. And there's a flavor for everyone. On the site, you even have the option to build your own 12-pack or 24-pack. If you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com, and get some 5-Hour Energy product today, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONCFB to receive 20% off your order. This order is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Go to 5hourenergy.com. Do it today.